Well, I can see so many of us are still reeling, are still sad from our defeat last night. It was very painful. Professors from Stanford, volleyball in Indonesia is just like American football in your country. So last night we lost the Super Bowl, the grand final of Pro Liga. That's the highest level of championship for volleyball in Indonesia. But then again, Pak SBY always remind us that sometimes we win, but sometimes we learn. So move on and let's do better. Restart and do better and achieve that championship, that victory next year. Lavani forever. That's my best icebreaker. Although it's heartbreaking, but again, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. May peace be upon us all. The sixth President of the Republic of Indonesia, Chairman of the Yudhoyono Institute, Bapak Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono. My beloved wife, Anissa Larasati Pohan. That's important to say your wife first. After your father, of course. Vice Chairman of the People's Consultative Assembly, MPR RI, my beloved brother, Dr. Edi Baskoro Yudhoyono, accompanied by his wife, Alia Rajasa Yudhoyono. Honorable Ministers from the Merah Putih Cabinet. First, Minister of Public Works, Bapak Dodi Hanggodo. Minister of Creative Economy, Bapak Teguh Rifki Harsha. Minister of Transmigration, Bapak Muhammad Iftitah Sulaiman. And Vice Minister for Agrarian Affairs and Special Planning, Bapak Osi Darmawan. We have a number of Member of Parliaments from Democratic Party, Bapak Herman Hairon and others, and also from Gerindra, Bapak Danang Wicaksana Sulistia, my good friend, my high school mate. And I would like to welcome also ambassadors from friendly countries, His Excellency Stan Fremont Nielsen, the Ambassador of Denmark to Indonesia. His Excellency Masaki Yasushi, the Ambassador of Japan to Indonesia. And we also have former ministers from the first and second United Indonesia Cabinet under President SBY. First, former Coordinating Minister for the Economy, Bapak Hairul Tanjung, beserta Ibu. Former Minister of Education and Culture, Professor Dr. Muhammad Nuh. Former Minister of Environment, Professor Dr. Gusti Muhammad Hatta. Former Minister of Youth and Sports, Bapak Andi Malarangeng. Former Minister of Cooperatives and Small Medium Enterprises, Professor Dr. Syarif Hasan. And now I would like to introduce our honorable speakers and panelists. Dr. Arun Majumdar, the Dean of the Stanford Doerr School of Sustainability, who will be our keynote speaker. And this is very special. My mentor, Bapak Gita Wirjawan, former Minister of Trade and visiting scholar, Stanford University, who will also serve as moderator. But you are now more famous as podcaster. The end game. So welcome again, Pak Gita Wirjawan. And our wonderful panelists. First, Professor Yi Chui, Director of Precourt Institute for Energy and Professor of Material Science and Engineering of Energy Science and Engineering, Stanford University. He told me earlier that he is actually a soccer player. So I asked him, are you better in soccer or in science? He told me, among the soccer players, he is the best scientist. But among the scientists, he is the best soccer player. That's a good one. I can apply that with my other remarks. Professor William Chue, the Fortinet Founders Professor, Professor of Material Science and Engineering, of Energy Science and Engineering, of Photon Science, Stanford University. So many labels. So important and so brilliant. Thank you again for coming. And last but not least, Professor David Cohen, Director of the Center for Human Rights and International Justice at Stanford University. So, two were born in the US, one was born in China, one was born in Taiwan, and one was born in India. So these special delegates represents the whole world. So once again, thank you for coming to this event. Also attending, rectors, leaders, academic community members from universities across Indonesia, editors-in-chief, active and retired generals, air marshals, and also admirals from the Army, Air Force, and Navy, the chairman of the Indonesian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, along with other prominent figures from the business community, Secretary of the Coordinating Ministry for Infrastructure and Regional Development, along with deputy ministers, assistant deputies, and others, Secretary General, Treasurer, and the leadership of the Democratic Party, including regional heads. We have a lot of governors or vice governors, mayors, bupati, also attending this event. Our KIB brothers and sisters, the younger generations, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Selamat pagi dan selamat datang di Yogyakarta. And to all the Buddhists in Indonesia and around the world, I wish you happy Vesak Day. Selamat Hari Waisak. May your life be full of blessings and happiness in this day of enlightenment. Inshallah, I'll be attending a big celebration tonight at Borobudur Temple in Magelang. To all the delegates from the Stanford University, unfortunately, we heard about the technical issues with your flight this morning, which required a return to Jakarta and a change of plane. We were a little worried at first, but we are happy that you all make it safely here and you are here today. Once again, applause to our distinguished guests from Stanford University. A very warm welcome to all of you to the 2025 Yudhoyono Institute Lecture Series, a forum for strategic dialogue on today's defining challenges. We are here not only to share ideas, but to advance a shared purpose, I thank each one of you for answering that call. Let me begin by sharing this very special place. Yogyakarta is not just beautiful. It symbolizes Indonesia's identity. It is a cradle of Javanese culture and a symbol of our national history, reminding that the past, present, and future are always connected. The Yudhoyono Institute, founded in 2017 by President Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono, is grounded in liberty, prosperity, and security, values which are vital in our fast-changing interconnected world. We seek to empower strategic leadership, nurture inclusive policy thinking, and foster intergenerational dialogue to help shape a better future. This year's lecture, Green Growth, Sustainable Growth with Equity, comes at a time of deep uncertainty and even deeper opportunity. Asia today contributes more than half of global growth. Indonesia, under the leadership of President Prabowo Subianto, is pushing forward on multiple fronts, from food security and clean water to energy transition and industrial innovation. In my capacity as the Coordinating Minister for Infrastructure and Regional Development, I supervise efforts across the different ministries and agencies in areas of spatial planning and land use, infrastructure development, transportation over land, air, and sea, affordable housing, as well as regional development and transmigration across the country. These are all issues very closely connected to sustainability. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, sustainability is not only about the environment, but about human dignity, poverty reduction, and long-term security for future generations. Sustainability is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Across Indonesia, we are seeing how integrated solutions can create real change, from improved irrigation that boosts harvest and buffers against drought, to our emerging leadership in the EV and battery supply chain. Our development path is increasingly guided by the principles of resilience, innovation, and social equity. We are tackling the challenges of rapid urbanization and climate crisis, including those that reshape coastlines, strain cities, and increase the need for dignified, affordable housing. In northern Java, especially Jakarta, land subsidence and rising seas put millions at risk. Indonesia is now advancing the giant seawall, a multi-phase project to protect coastal populations and key economic zones. It is a symbol of our national commitment to adapt to climate change. We are also responding to a major urban challenge: waste. Indonesia produces over 64 million tons of waste annually, much of it unmanaged. Waste-to-energy facilities are being scaled up to turn waste into electricity. This eases landfill loads, promotes energy diversification, and supports a circular economy. Urbanization is accelerating. More than half of Indonesians now live in cities. By 2045, that number could reach 70%. The challenge goes beyond merely constructing homes. It is about building climate-resilient, well-connected communities. However, financing and policy barriers continue to hinder progress. If we can address this collectively, housing can become a cornerstone for fostering equity and driving green growth. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, no country, no matter how large or ambitious, can walk this path alone. The challenge we face, climate change, food and energy insecurity, digital inequality, are global, interconnected, and urgent. They require partnerships, not just policies. They demand co-creation, not only consultation. Recent US tariffs and protectionist policies have shown how one country's decisions can quickly disrupt the entire global economy, giving new urgency to the meaning of uncertainty. That is why today's discussions are so critical. Let us reflect on three fundamental issues. Number one, how we can redefine growth in ways that value both environmental integrity and human well-being. Number two, how we can scale technological breakthroughs so they can uplift not only the few, but the many. And number three, how we can ensure governance and collaboration bridge global insight with local action. At the Yudhoyono Institute, we are committed to dialogue that leads to action and ideas that bring shared progress. There is a Javanese saying, "Becik ke titik, olo ketoro." Good deeds will shine through and poor decisions cannot stay hidden. The choices we make today will shape not only our economies, but the moral foundation of our future. Let me express our deepest gratitude to Dr. Arun Majumdar and his colleagues, Professor David Cohen, Professor Will Chue, and Professor Yi Chui from the Stanford Doerr School of Sustainability. Their work at the intersection of science, innovation, and policy has inspired people worldwide. We are truly honored by their presence today. I also want to thank His Excellency Bapak Gita Wirjawan, my mentor, a former trade minister and a champion of dialogue and innovation. His efforts made this collaboration with Stanford possible and continue to strengthen Indonesia's place in global conversations on sustainability. A special tribute, of course, goes to our founder, Bapak Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono. As president, he helped shape the global climate agenda. He hosted the 2007 Bali Climate Conference, the COP13, that led to Bali Roadmap and paved the way for the Paris Agreement. He imposed a moratorium on primary forest clearing and partnered with Norway to protect forest. He co-founded the Coral Triangle Initiative and championed renewable energy at home. Globally, he co-chaired the UN high-level panel that shaped the Sustainable Development Goals. Even after his presidency, he continued to lead, serving as president of the Assembly and chair of the Council of the Global Green Growth Institute, GGGI, in 2014 to 2016. His legacy remains a guiding light for our shared work. We are also honored to have a special video message from His Excellency Ban Ki-moon, current chair of the Council of the GGGI. I had the privilege of meeting him in Hainan during the Boao Forum for Asia in March. Though he could not join us in person, he graciously sent his remarks, which will be played after this speech. On behalf of the Yudhoyono Institute, I express our deepest gratitude for His Excellency Ban Ki-moon for his support for this event. With such distinguished guests and partners, today's discussions will surely be filled with insights and opportunities. We are privileged to learn from each of you, and together we can lead the way toward a more resilient world. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, now it is my great honor to welcome our keynote speaker, Professor Aaron Majumdar, Dean of the Stanford Doerr School of Sustainability. Professor Majumdar brings the clarity and vision needed to help us see both the scale of the challenge and the opportunity before us. With that, I invite all of us to listen with care, question with courage, and contribute with purpose, as we work together to ensure that green growth is not a slogan, but a strategy for a lasting equity, resilience, and shared humanity. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.